Bienvenidas y bienvenidos al Camino a la Sostenibilidad. Mi nombre es Maurín Villanueva y te acompañaré en este día de conferencias. La Universidad de Monterrey, a través de la Vicerrectoría de Formación Integral, te da la más cordial bienvenida a la edición número 20 del Camino a la Sostenibilidad. Este espacio de intercambio de experiencias exitosas para recorrer el camino hacia la construcción de una sociedad sostenible comenzó en enero de 2011. Estamos muy felices de estar aquí, como cada semestre, para compartir, aprender y vivir la sostenibilidad. Antes de continuar con nuestra siguiente conferencia, quiero hablarles de Quimakul. Quimakul es un programa de la Universidad de Monterrey que busca contribuir al empoderamiento económico de las mujeres en economías de subsistencia, a través del emprendimiento que promueve un trabajo digno y mediante la mentoría en negocios por parte de estudiantes de servicio social. De esta forma, nos sumamos al esfuerzo por contribuir al cumplimiento de los Objetivos de Desarrollo Sostenible sobre la equidad de género, trabajo decente y crecimiento económico. Te invitamos a adquirir productos a través del mercado virtual.
El Centro para la Solidaridad y Filantropía, a través de Quimakul, te invita a visitar el mercado virtual Quimakul, un espacio creado para promover la equidad de género a través del crecimiento económico de las mujeres. En él encontrarás productos y servicios como artesanías, joyería, bisutería, cuidado personal, belleza y spa, dulces regionales, productos ecológicos y mucho más. Todos creados por las emprendedoras graduadas del programa Quimakul. Ingresa a udem.edu.mx/mercado virtual Quimakul y descubre la variedad de productos y servicios que puedes adquirir. Compra y apoya el emprendimiento femenino y el consumo local y solidario.
Te invitamos a ingresar al sitio web de Quimakul y conocer los productos. Ahora voy a presentar a las conferencistas que nos acompañan el día de hoy. Holly es médica, profesora de meditación y escritora. Su pasión por enseñar mindfulness a adultos en edad universitaria la llevó a co-crear Koru Mindfulness, un plan de estudios basado en evidencia para enseñar mindfulness a adultos jóvenes. Es la cofundadora de The Center for Koru Mindfulness, una organización que visualiza un mundo en el que los adultos jóvenes de todas partes creen vidas justas y significativas. Holly trabajó como psiquiatra en el Centro de Orientación Estudiantil de la Universidad de Duke durante 23 años. Es coautora con Margaret Maitan de Mindfulness for the Next Generation, ayudando a adultos emergentes a manejar el estrés y a llevar una vida más saludable. Su último libro, The Mindful 20-something, es una guía para adultos jóvenes que desean aprender a usar la atención plena y la meditación para mejorar su viaje a través de la adultez emergente. Libby es cofundadora del Center for Koru Mindfulness. Antes de jubilarse en 2016, fue trabajadora social clínica con licencia en el Servicio de Consejería y Psicología de la Universidad de Duke y asociada clínica en la Facultad del Departamento de Psiquiatría del Centro Médico de la Universidad de Duke. Ha estado trabajando con adultos jóvenes durante los últimos 30 años y encuentra una gran importancia en ayudarlos a explorar la cuestión del significado en un momento de la vida lleno de tanta ambigüedad. Libby llegó a la práctica de la atención plena a través de su participación temprana en el programa de reducción del estrés basado en la atención plena. Su práctica de meditación se basa en la tradición de atención plena Vipassana. Además de su interés en la atención plena, también cree firmemente en los beneficios restauradores de trabajar juntos dentro y a través de las comunidades para iluminar la humanidad de la lucha. Libby vive con su familia en Durham, North Carolina, y ama a su ciudad adoptiva. La mayoría de sus lecciones de mindfulness las ha aprendido mientras andaba en bicicleta por las carreteras rurales que rodean su ciudad natal. Agradecemos la presencia de Libby y Holly y, well, hi Libby, hi Holly. The screen is all yours.
Thank you very much. Buenas tardes. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Libby Webb and one of the co-founders of the Koru Center, which I think has already been introduced. And I'm very pleased to be here today and with my good friend and colleague Holly, and a great note of gratitude to Professor Nani for inviting us to be here today. And I'm excited to visit with you all and share some of our thoughts about mindfulness. And I'll tag Holly.
Thanks, Liv. Thanks for that beautiful introduction. We are so grateful and feel so privileged to be invited to join you. We apologize for our only being able to converse with you in English, and wish that we were more skillful and would be able to converse with you in your language. But we so much appreciate being invited. So, sounds like we've been introduced beautifully in Spanish. So Libby and I, we both worked together for a couple decades at the Student Counseling Center at Duke University. Duke is one of those universities in the United States that students work quite hard to get into. You'd think they'd be delighted to be there, but what we saw over and over again is that they weren't thriving. They had made it to Duke, the school of their dreams, and they were really struggling. They simply weren't thriving. And we recognize that mindfulness, this tool of mindfulness, is something that might be helpful to them. So our interest particularly has been, how can we use mindfulness to help folks who are at that stage of life, college, 20s, trying to find your path, trying to stay engaged with what's meaningful and important to you, when the world is so busy and so crazy and there's so much that you have to deal with all the time. So let's talk a little bit about what mindfulness is. All right. So when we're talking about mindfulness, what are we talking about? We're talking about this mindset or capacity, really, to hold your awareness, your attention in the moment at hand, but with an attitude of curiosity, with an attitude of kindness, really. And we, when we're able to do this, we let go of a lot of the things that create stress for us. And that includes worries about what's going to happen next, what's going to happen in the future, that to-do list. It includes letting go of worries about things that are already over with, regrets, rehearsing a conversation you had, an argument, remembering an embarrassing moment, right? These things that create stress in our life. And instead, just really being with what is important in the moment, with this quality of kindness and compassion. So this is a mindset that really anybody can operate out of this mindset, but it doesn't come naturally to most of us. It's something you have to practice. It's something you have to cultivate. So let's maybe spend a few minutes kind of experiencing mindfulness a little bit so you get an idea about what I'm talking about. So when we practice mindfulness, we're gathering our attention and we're bringing it in to the here and now. And our mind doesn't really want to do that. Our mind wants to wander off and find problems and think about things, right? So we need an anchor, something to anchor our attention in the present moment and to help us develop this quality of present moment, curious kindness, right? Anything can be our anchor, really. So let's just play with a few anchors. And I invite you to play along with me and see what you notice, see what you experience, and see which of the anchors that I offer feel most relevant to you, feel most easy. All right. So wherever you are, let's start with our visual field. Okay. So take a moment and just begin to look around the room you're in. And see if you can see it in maybe a slightly different way. It's probably a room you're familiar with because we're all zooming from somewhere, right? See if you can notice shapes, textures, colors. See what your eyes are drawn to. Just orient yourself to the present moment using the field of vision. Now thoughts are gonna crowd in. That's no big deal. That's what thoughts do. When you notice that, you're gonna bring your awareness home to the present moment by using your eyes. All right, let's try a different anchor. And again, I'm just inviting you to be curious, interested in what you notice as you use these anchors of free awareness. So now let's invite in the soundscape. Open your ears as wide as they will open. What do you hear? It might help you hear if you close your eyes, but you don't have to close your eyes, but it might help you. What sounds do you notice outside your room? Inside your room, maybe even inside your body? And again, when thoughts arrive, no problem. Just come back to the sounds. Shifting again, let's play with another anchor. Let's play with physical sensations. Start by placing your hands together. Rub your palms together. Put your attention on the palms of your hands. Really feel that. Yeah, feel the sensations. Our hands are so sensitive. Then rest your hands in your lap. Feel your hands resting in your lap. And just open your awareness to any other body sensation. Maybe you notice you can feel your feet on the floor or the touch of your shirt on your shoulders. Body sensations can be a really effective anchor. Let's investigate the body sensation of breath now. See if you can feel your breath. Breath is a beautiful anchor. It's always present. It's always changing. You might feel it in your chest or your belly. The tip of your nose, doesn't matter. See if you can settle your awareness on the rise and fall of your breathing. Gently, without struggle, let your attention be a feather riding on the waves in the ocean. Let's take one more deep breath in. Let it out. Open your eyes if they're closed. And just take a moment to see what you noticed. Reflect on what did you notice as I guided you into your awareness in these various anchors. Noticing there are so many doors into the present moment. None is better than the other. It's a matter of what feels inviting and easy for you. So what is the point of this, right? So maybe what you noticed was that you just had a really busy mind and that it was really hard to hold your attention on any of these anchors. And that is a beautiful observation. You were doing it exactly right if you noticed the workings of your mind. That's so valuable to understand that. Or maybe you notice little moments of sort of peacefulness, a little presence. That's something to be curious about. These moments of presence are what allow us to really manage our stress, but perhaps more importantly, get really familiar with what is true for us. What do we care about? What is meaningful? What are the ways we're pulled in directions that aren't that helpful for us? What are the ways in which we spend time worrying about what other people think about us or worry about what other people expect from us that pulls us off our path, distracts us from what is my truth? And, when you're in your 20s, when you're a university student, the more you can get familiar with what you care about, teased out from what everyone else cares about and expects, the more likely you're going to be able to lean in to making choices and moving on a path that's really sustainable and meaningful for you. And it just takes a little practice. So now that I've given you a little nugget about mindfulness, and hopefully you've had a chance to experience it a bit, I'm going to tag my friend Libby, and she's going to teach us a little bit more about it. So Libby, I tag you.
Thank you. How mindfulness can sustain us. But I thought I'd start out with a story and share a story with you that is often a story told by a very wise meditation teacher in the US, whose name is Sharon Salzberg. And so a note of gratitude for her. This story has inspired me, and I thought I would pass it along to you all. So the story centers around a grandfather who's a member of one of the indigenous tribes in the US, and he's speaking with his grandson one evening. And the story goes like this. He says, "My son, there's a battle between two wolves inside all of us. One wolf is known as the storm. It is anger, fear, envy, sorrow, greed, inferiority, superiority, and ego. The other wolf is known as spaciousness. It is joy, peace, love, hope, kindness, truth, compassion, faith." The grandson thinks about this for a minute, and then he turns to his grandfather and he says, "Which wolf wins?" And the grandfather simply replies, "The one you feed, the one you feed." So what does this have to do with mindfulness and your lives? If you think about it, humans are motivated by love or by fear, the two wolves. It's the way humans are wired. The amazing part of meditation practice is that through the practice, we begin to be able to observe our patterns of thoughts, feelings, and emotions, and to see them for what they really are. They're either fear-based, compassion-based. And then once we become more aware, We can see ourselves more clearly. We can decide how we choose to act. So the practice of meditation, in order to become more mindful, allows us more space to make choice. So I know there is so much to be worried about these days. We all have been in the midst of such pain around the planet. Lots of worries, right? Staying healthy, climate degradation, food insecurity, job insecurity, wanting to find love, falling out of love. All these things are loaded into our brains and our experience. It's so easy to get caught in this sticky spider web of worry. And this worry actually can increase based on how much we deeply care about something. So whatever you deeply care about, worry will sidle right up beside it. Mindfulness can help us create more of a space so that we can watch the worry rather than be it. It can loosen that sticky web just a bit in order to give us more energy for the long road ahead in our lives. You know, one thing that we know now about the human brain, and y'all probably have heard this, is that the human brain is naturally wired for negativity bias. It scans for the problems. It so easily feeds the stormy wolf. And a meditation practice can really help us cultivate a different attitude or lens through which we see the world. So it can sustain us. It helps us carry our load more lightly. It helps us choose to act from love rather than fear. And it really helps us create more positive neural pathways in our mind, in our brain, that in turn feeds the spacious wolf. So it doesn't ignore the pain and suffering in our lives. It doesn't ignore it. It just gives us tools for holding the seriousness in a more sustainable manner. We can begin to move with the challenges with greater joy, greater wisdom. We can choose to act from love and wisdom rather than fear. And in doing so, the world becomes a different place. Kinder, gentler, more loving. As things turn internal, as we shift our internal lens, it's lent outward. So we offer you these hopes, these thoughts, and just the hope that you might find these practices as food to feed your spacious wolf. And we hope you might come along and join some practices with us. I have one now I'd like to offer you all. It's called a guided imagery. We invite you to practice that with us. If you choose not to, no worries at all. What we know about a guided imagery is that it really awakens our senses. So I invite you in this practice to awaken the senses. And what we know is that when anybody practices guided imagery, the science has shown us that it really convinces our brain that we are in this place that we create in our mind's eye. And it actually lights up the part of the brain that is visual. So let's see if you'd like to come along for this practice, settle in. And I'll just invite you to sit back and relax. See that your arms and legs are in a position that feels right for you. Just relax. If you feel comfortable, slowly close your eyes. And begin by bringing your awareness into your body. Notice the points of contact that your body's making with your chair or couch. Experience the solidness of your body being held, knowing the earth beneath is holding you. Let your attention touch the earth, imagining the energy of the earth as one of stability, firmness, sustainability. Imagine being held by this energy. I invite your attention to move to your breathing, just allowing your breathing to become even and comfortable, resting into your breath, riding the in-breath and the out-breath with relaxation. So now I'd like you to see yourself, invite you to see yourself in a very special place, a beautiful spot in nature. Your special place may be an imaginary place in nature or one you've been to before. Either is fine. Should more than one place come to mind, allow yourself to stay with one of them. The only thing that matters is that it's a place in which you are completely comfortable and grounded. You feel comfortable and grounded. Appreciate this scene with all of your senses. Hear the sounds. Smell the aromas. Feel the air as it touches your skin. Experience the ground securely under you. Touch and feel the whole environment that you are in. Experience the trust that this place in nature can hold whatever you bring. Notice what you are wearing. Notice what you have on your feet. Notice what time of year it is, what time of day. Are you alone or with another person or people or pet? Notice the colors that surround you. Notice the qualities of your place that make it welcoming and grounding. Imagine as you experience the comfort and support of your place, you also experience an energy within you, as if you are awakening to a new calm energy, feeling a connection between you and everything around you. You and all the elements around you are sharing a common energy. Take this in with all of your senses. Now look around you and see if there's something you'd like to offer your place. It could be a gesture of gratitude or a song, something concrete you would like to offer in gratitude, something that comes from your heart, the kindest roots of your heart. And then imagine you receiving something from your special place. It could be anything, a fallen leaf, a small stone, something you know your place is offering up to you. Something that honors your place and your relationship with everything surrounding you. And then notice how your body feels in this place. And take a moment to enjoy this feeling of comfort and connection in your place. And know that you can return to your place whenever you need sustenance and support. And when you're ready, only when you're ready, you can begin to open your eyes, orient to your room around you, our community here on Zoom. Thank you all very much for the practice with us. Let's see.
I think that we're probably out of time.
Let's check in. Yes. Are we out of time? Wise guides?
So if y'all are interested in learning more about mindfulness, the University of Monterrey is starting a Koru program. A lot of folks are going to be teaching mindfulness. So if you're at the University of Monterrey, we really invite you to check out their Koru program. If you're not at the University of Monterrey, then you need to ask your faculty and staff to go get themselves trained in Koru so you can learn more mindfulness.
Let's see.
We're not hearing from the staff.
It sounds like Maureen says if we wish to read the poem, we can do that.
Oh, I don't see that. So was there someone who was going to read it for us? We have a poem that really is by Pablo Neruda, a Chilean poet. It's in Spanish, and we have someone who was going to read that for us. Y'all may know it.
Hi, Libby. Yeah, there's time for the poem. So if Carla, I guess she's going to help us with the reading.
Awesome. Super.
Let your ears take it in.
We're just checking for the audio. Just a moment to activate.
Okay.
Oh, we can hear you now, Carla. I think it's
¿Sí?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Sí.
A callarse. Ahora contaremos 12 y nos quedamos todos quietos. Por una vez sobre la tierra, no hablaremos en ningún idioma. Por un segundo, detengámonos. No movamos tanto los brazos. Sería un minuto fragante. Sin prisa, sin locomotoras, todos estaríamos juntos, en una inquietud instantánea. Los pescadores del mar frío no harían daño a las ballenas, y el trabajador de la sal miraría sus manos rotas. Los que preparan guerras verdes, guerras de gas, guerras de fuego, victorias sin sobrevivientes, se pondrían un traje puro y andarían con sus hermanos, por la sombra, sin hacer nada. No se confunda lo que quiero con inacción definitiva. La vida es solo lo que se hace. No quiero nada con la muerte. Si no pudimos ser unánimes, moviendo tanto nuestras vidas, tal vez no hacer nada de una vez. Tal vez un gran silencio pueda interrumpir esta tristeza. Esto no entendernos jamás y amenazarnos con la muerte. Tal vez la tierra nos enseñe cuando todo parece muerto y luego todo está vivo. Ahora contaré hasta 12 y tú te callas y me voy.
Thank you very much.
It's beautiful. All right.
So we wish you all so well and sustainable steps in your journey in life. And perhaps you'll find yourself in a Koru class one of these days.
All right. Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Holly and Libby. Thanks for the opportunity to hear your recommendations, and this is an invitation for everyone to take this course. En nombre de la Universidad de Monterrey, agradecemos a Holly Rogers y Libby Webb por su participación en la 20ª edición del Camino a la Sostenibilidad. Agradecemos su tiempo y las ideas que nos compartieron el día de hoy. Estamos seguros de que más de uno de nosotros nos servirán para aplicarlas en nuestra vida. Les damos las gracias a todos a quienes nos acompañaron en estas transmisiones, en este día, en nuestro segundo día de conferencias del Camino a la Sostenibilidad. El día de mañana continuamos con más talleres. Los invitamos a que revisen la agenda en Sched y pues muchas gracias a todos quienes hicieron posible este evento. En estos 2 días hemos aprendido mucho sobre el vasto tema de la sostenibilidad, la complejidad de las interconexiones humanas y ambientales y algunos ejemplos de cómo podemos aplicarlo en nuestra vida. Ese es el objetivo de este evento, comenzar la conversación y crecer la comunidad mucho más para realmente tener una sociedad sostenible. Quiero tomarme el tiempo para agradecer a todo el equipo del Camino a la Sostenibilidad, que trabaja constantemente para que este evento se realice cada semestre. Detrás de algo que se ve tan sencillo, hay una gran cantidad de trabajo y esperamos que lo hayan disfrutado. Eso es todo por esta 20ª edición del Camino a la Sostenibilidad. Nos vemos en nuestra edición número 21. Hasta la próxima.